Snizzity Snap, baby. We are back. Here we are with this week's episode of Motivate with EY. We're approaching number 20 here, so this is number, I believe, 18 or 19. So I'll post it on there. You'll see it. And so I've been thinking a lot about this topic for a while now. Really for a long time, and I think it's something that we all think about, we all talk about, and we don't ever really, I don't think, fully understand unless you spend a lot of time and energy on it. And what am I talking about here? What does being happy mean? Please excuse me taking a drink. So I've been looking at a lot of things and listening to a lot of things about find your happiness, just be happy, no matter what's going on, just be happy, right? Don't worry, be happy. And these are, nice sayings, and these are kind of a way of thinking and maybe trying to stay in a positive mindset. But I don't always know, and I'm saying this because I've done this. I've done this for most of my life. I don't always know if we think truly about what does being happy mean. And I'm here to tell you, I don't have the answer. I only have the answer for me. That's it. I don't have the answer for my kids. I don't have the answer for my wife, anybody in my immediate family. I only have the answer for me. And I got to be honest, it's a moving target all the time, because as we grow up, and if we look back at how we were as teenagers, as 20-year-olds, and even as you hit 30, if you're listening to this and you haven't hit 30, it's going to change probably, most likely. And if it doesn't, great. Sometimes it's nice to have a longer, steadier path, depending on who you are and what you want to accomplish. So, but the target's always moving, and sometimes we don't know it moves. We think we're still going this direction, but the target has moved this way. And the reason why we don't know is because we're not always paying attention to what's really making us happy. We believe it's going to be this, right? We set some goals. We have an idea of what is going to fulfill us in the long term, and we start going that direction. And maybe what really, truly, maybe halfway down the road, something that will really give us the contentment that we're looking for, the happiness that we're looking for in life, is going to be something else. But we don't know that has changed because we've been so focused on it's got to be this. And it could be something like a job title. It could be getting a master's degree or a PhD. It could be reaching a certain level of financial freedom or success. It could be starting a family. It doesn't really matter what it is. But we get sometimes just so ultra hyper focused on, this is the path, this is the one thing, this is what's going to do it all for me and make me happy. And sometimes, yes, it does. It gives us a certain amount of happiness for a period of time. But sometimes, we're thinking, or we don't think, well, now that I've gotten here, now what? And we didn't think about it before because that was the goal. The goal was to get here. Now that you're here, you start looking around and you start thinking, well, now what? This happiness is kind of wearing off. And it was maybe a short-term kind of happiness. And short-term just kind of means, I don't mean for like a day. I mean, maybe it lasts a few months. But then everything that you've been so focused on is over, because now you've hit this goal, you hit this target. So then you have to start looking at something else. And that's okay. I think that's a good thing. You're redirecting your energy to something else. And sometimes that's just what it is. The pursuit of goals, the pursuit of achieving new things and hitting new, levels within your life. That's the happiness, because that's the fun. That's the, you get up early in the morning and you have your list of everything you want to get done for the day, and it's just boom, go, go, go. You hit it hard, and some days are good, some days are not as good. Some days you feel like you fall flat on your face, but that whole grind and the whole excitement of it all, that's what's giving you that overall happiness. Sometimes that's what it is. For a lot of people, I've met so many people where it's like, look, it's going to be starting a family. It's going to be, getting married, having kids, and taking care of my family, and going to work every day, and grinding it out, and coming home to my family, and just looking around at the dinner table and seeing everybody playing and doing all these things and going to ball games and going to the, to the fair, or, whatever events you're into, the hockey game if you're here in Vegas. And you think this is it. This is the ultimate happiness. This is all I need. And that's great. If that's your overall fulfillment and happiness, and you get there and you're living every day, just, even the days that aren't perfect or don't go your way, but you still can look around and go, I have all the things that I need. There's nothing like that. I get it, but it doesn't mean sometimes we can't always add to that ultimate happiness. Maybe we set a goal to do this now. Maybe we take on a new hobby or learn an instrument and do something else, and that becomes a new segment of our happiness. It doesn't mean we have to strip away everything else. Sure, some of your time, is going to get designated to something else for whatever that period is. But I think that if that is part of what you want out of life, that's what you should be focusing on. If it's only things that are materialistic, or a job title, or this constant keeping up with the Joneses mentality, and so many of us, and I say us because I've been guilty of it many, many times, this mentality of having to get more stuff, whether it's cars or go on vacations or buy the newest electronic kind of devices that are out there, that can be very taxing. And if you don't make an exorbitant amount of money, it can really become, I think, more damaging than not. So if it's fame, maybe some people are chasing fame, they're chasing recognition and notoriety. If that's going to make you truly happy, and I don't mean happy for a moment, or maybe sometimes it's like this low dose drug that you get, but you're constantly having to take it just to get your fill, and your body gets used to it, so then you have to take more and more and more. I don't know if that's healthy or not. I don't believe it is, but I've said many times, I'm not a professional, so what do I know? But really, for this purpose of this talk, do we ever really sit or talk amongst our friends or family or our spouses, and even your kids, and talk about what is it that's going to make you happy? And I think sometimes it probably scares us. I know it's definitely scared me in the past to actually be open and honest to the fact that I don't know what's going to make me ultimately happy overall. And sure, it could be kind of in segments. And yes, of course, my family makes me happy. Of course, my friends make me happy. Of course, there are certain things in my life that definitely make me happy. But if I want to be fulfilled, right? If there was like a pie chart of happiness, there's a big chunk of it that's family, another big chunk of it that's going to be friends, another big chunk of it that's going to be, my hobbies and things. But if there's all these little slivers, kind of missing pieces that you don't have filled in, that's what I'm trying to get at. That's what is it that's going to fill those pieces in, so you have the whole thing completely filled, and you feel like I'm doing it. I'm doing all the things that are making me happy. And it's I think it's a very tough thing to figure out. I know adults well into their 50s, 60s, they still haven't figured it out. They've been chasing the money thing for so long, or chasing the perfect partner for so long, or both, or maybe the job title, because the path that they chose was a long path. It's college, master's degree, maybe a PhD or MD, but going out and starting at a company and working their way up slowly and surely over 20 years, and trying to get to that CEO position or that senior vice president position. It's a long, long journey. And in the meantime, there are other things that kind of go by the wayside. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's hobbies, sometimes it's both. So we're constantly trying to fill in these pieces. And sometimes some of those pieces get taken out and they get replaced by something else. Something else is going to make us happy now. I have one of those goals in mind, for me. I've been in jiu-jitsu for almost 4 years now, and besides obviously wanting to get to the next belt, my ultimate goal is to become a black belt and then continue on from there, but also compete and have a world championship under my accomplishments. And now when I get there, is it going to be what makes me ultimately happy overall? Well, no. Is it going to be one of those little slivers maybe that I feel like that I'm missing? Yeah, I think so. That's why I'm doing it. Otherwise, what's the point? And I'm very conscious of this. I think long and hard about these things because I don't want to put any more time and energy into something that's definitely not going to make me not only overall happy, but even going to fill in one of those pieces. And I definitely have done that in the past. I've chased things that weren't going to be part of the happiness pie, if you will. It just wasn't going to do it. And sometimes I even got to where I wanted to go, and I'm thinking, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I thought it was going to be. And I'm sure many of us have done that throughout our lives, and sometimes we've done it more than once. But it's because we truly want that feeling. We want that feeling of waking up every single day, and sure, you have goals, and sure, you have pursuits, and you have things that you want to accomplish. But overall, you're waking up and you know that all the pieces in your life, everything that's going on, is exactly where you want it, or exactly on the path of where you want to go. That's an amazing feeling. And I give big props to those people out there who have accomplished that, because it's not easy to do, because we get sidestepped all the time. We get sidestepped with other things. We get distracted by things. Life just kind of gets in the way. Sometimes we get these hurricanes that come through our life and knock us way off path. And next thing we know, we wake up and we're in a whole nother place and thinking, what the heck just happened? Life can be like that. So thinking long and hard about what is it that's going to make us happy? And is it just the destination? Is it the journey along the way? And I know I sound like one of those motivational sayings and quotes, but those things exist for a reason, Sure, sometimes they kind of get to be a little cheesy or kind of like, oh, here we go again. But I mean, they're there because there are people who have found that. They've found that path. They found that journey, if you will, and decided this is a big chunk of my happiness here, is this pursuit, this waking up every day and knowing what I'm working towards. And you might be thinking right now, you might think, well, hey, Eric, you're here talking to me right now. All 17 of you who may be listening, you're here talking. What about you? Are you happy? It's a very good question. And I can honestly say, yes, right now, I'm very happy. Right now. Did I hear you correctly? Yes, you did. You heard me correctly. I say right now because it is always changing. That's just a big part of it. And I also take into consideration, hey, there's some potentially terrible things that can happen in life. And if any of those things happen to me, I definitely hope and pray that they don't. But if they do, I'm sure at that moment I won't be happy. And I'm sure that a big portion of my life will be very unhappy if something devastating happens to me or my family, God willing, that doesn't happen. So there's always things out of our control that can knock us off that path. And that's why I say right now. And I've said before on this podcast, I've talked about, if I had to go to my job that I have right now every single day for the rest of my life and keep doing what I'm doing, and, we're going to grow as a company and there's going to be other challenges, but if I had to keep doing what I'm doing now and do it for the rest of my life and make a living, I would be extremely happy. If I stayed in this house or a house just like the one I have now with my family and do pretty much all the things that I do right now and nothing more, I would be extremely happy with that for the rest of my life. Do I want to do and accomplish more? Absolutely. But if this was the max, if I'm capped out right here, right now, and where I am in life, I'm okay with that. And I'm extremely happy with that. That's a great feeling to have, to wake up every day and think, if it never got any better, I'm pretty damn lucky. I have a wonderful life. It's a great feeling. It really is. And I mean, the way my brain works and the way I naturally am, I'm always going to want to try to accomplish more and do more and take on a little bit more. and always kind of be pursuing something, because I like that challenge for myself. I don't ever want to be stagnant and just kind of sit back and think, oh, I'm all done, as a human being. I'm done growing. I'm done traveling. I'm done doing whatever. I'm sure someday I'll reach that point, but it's not today. It's not going to be probably for the next 30 or so years. So I got a lot of work to do. But if this was the best it was going to be, am I happy with that? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm extremely lucky, fortunate, blessed, whatever you want to call it. And sure, I know it's not luck. I've worked hard to get here. I've had some good things go my way too. I won't discount that. So yes, I'm very, very happy. And I'm happy that I am goal-oriented as well. I'm happy that I like to take on new things and learn more and achieve more. I'm happy that that's my personality. And so that's what I'm going to continue to do. So I don't have any magical answers for you. I don't have the end-all be-all of life and what's ultimately going to make you happy. And like I said at the very beginning, I can only do that for me. You have to do that for you. You have to figure it out. You have to decide. And maybe it's getting rid of people in your life. Maybe it's weeding out some of the extracurricular activities you have in your life right now. Maybe it's even getting a different job. Maybe it's moving out of the city that you're in. I don't know. But you got to figure that out. And you got to be willing to take those steps and take those risks. And they're risks. We don't always know if they're going to pan out. We hope they are. We work hard at it so it works out in the long run for us. But we don't always know. There's plenty of people out there that take some risks and they believe it's going to happen for them. And they believe this is the right path. And it's a road to nowhere. That's unfortunate. And we don't know if that's going to be us. But we got to do something. And doing nothing is doing something. That is choosing to not put forth the effort. It's choosing to not try to find exactly what's going to make you happy. That is a choice. And I know there's people that are in extremely unfortunate situations that don't have the resources that I have, that don't have the love and support that I have, that don't have the people around them that are going to rally behind them and encourage them to move forward. I know that exists. And I don't have the answer for them. Their road is a lot harder than mine. I'll acknowledge that any day of the week. I know it is. I'll never pretend that my road is as hard as some people who don't have it as good as I do, just by virtue of the family that I was born into. So, like I said, I'm no guru. I don't have the answers. I'm no professional. I say that all the time. I'm sure you're tired of hearing it, but I'll keep saying it because I want people to understand this is food for thought. This is just another way of thinking. And sometimes it helps me when I hear somebody else say something to me and I'm like, wow, I never thought about it that way. That helps me redirect kind of my focus somehow or some way, or gives me I have a new open door to a path that I didn't really know was there. And maybe that if someone hears this, it kind of opens their eyes a little bit too. We all get caught up in the momentum of life and just kind of going as we go along this path, and yet we never stop and look and reevaluate sometimes, and even wondering, is this going to fill in that piece of the pie for me, the happiness pie? I should probably trademark that phrase. We'll see. But is it going to do that? I believe that everything that I'm doing now, I'm on that path. That I am filling in these pieces of the pie to make me overall a fully whole and complete, happy human being. So that is the message. Let me make sure I go through all my notes here, make sure I covered everything that I wanted to. Yeah, that's it. Are you trying to be happy? Are you working towards being happy? What does that even mean? What does that mean for you? You got to figure that out. And sometimes it's just removing things that are currently in your life and taking on new things that are not in your life right now. And that can be just about anything. Just about anything. And you have to be willing to do it because no one's going to do it for you. And nobody can do it for you. And quite honestly, even if they could do it for you, it would not give you the happiness that you're looking for Why? Because it's the journey. It's you putting forth the blood, sweat, and tears to get to where you want to be. That's where a big part of that happiness is coming from. It's from knowing everything that you've been through, all the obstacles to get there, and you're thinking, yes, this is what it was all about. And I did it. Nobody did it for me. I did it. So I don't think you would want anybody to do it for you. It's just my thought. That is the message. How to find your happiness, looking for your happiness, understanding what that means for you, and going after it. And understanding that it's going to be this moving target all the time. And even when you get there, maybe now you have to redirect your energy somewhere else and figure out what the next part, the next little sliver, piece of pie that's going to be to fill in to give you your overall whole happiness in life. So that is the message. Thank you for listening. I will be back. Next week is Christmas. Boom. Christmas time is here. I will be taking a break during Christmas. And then the week after, big surprise, I'll announce it right now. I will be having my son on the podcast. He is 20 years old. He is in the Navy, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. So it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. Everybody will get to see how he and I interact. It's a lot of fun. We enjoy it. And that'll be the week after. So next week, no podcast, not because I'm lazy, not because I didn't want to do it, but because it's the holidays. I have family in town, and we're going to have fun, and that's all I want to worry about. So I appreciate everybody watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks with my son in town he's going to come into town just to see us, but also we're going to be doing the podcast, and I think it's going to be a great one. You guys will enjoy it very much. It'll be more fun, funny, entertaining in a lot of ways, but that's just how we are. So appreciate everybody, and like I always say, like it if you enjoy the content, subscribe, comment, and share with somebody else that you think may want to hear this, or sometimes even need to hear this. So have a great night, have a great 2 weeks, and we'll see you the week after Christmas. And we'll talk to you later.